Hello again and welcome to my boat shed. My name is Panu and I am about to build this 15-meter liveaboard cruising sailboat. The boat is going to be quite unique. It is 15 meters long, weighs about 15 tons. It will have double keels, two self-made rotating carbon fiber masts that will be done in here as well. It's going to be built with wood epoxy construction method and quite many unique features combined in the one single design. The design is made by myself and the naval stuff has been done by famous naval architect Yves Tanton. The build method is unique as well. The boat has been 3D modeled pretty much and I'm using this big CNC router to cut all those parts from plywood and another kind of materials. This particular CNC router has been designed and built by myself as well. The build started last year and so far I have done 11 frames for the boat and half stem, which is right here. There are still 7 frames to be done and after those are done we can start laying the boat here in the boat shed. There's 3 ways you can support my project here. First one is to watch these videos from start to end and all those ads, of course, and then subscribe the channel. Second one is to join my Patreon crew. I will post some additional stuff in there, some pictures, additional extra videos, maybe something else in the future. And third is of course purchase this merchandise stuff from the store row below. Yeah, it's down below. All this revenue is currently going into camera gear, hard drives and all that stuff. And in future it gives me opportunity to really make and edit these videos even better. My dream actually would be to make these videos and music for them and of course build this boat at the same time. So subscribe to the channel, check out the Patreon and t-shirts, and now we'll jump into making actually this boat. This video's agenda is to make the frame number 1, which is the second frame from the front. The first frame is actually frame number 0 and that is done already. You can check the videos about that from up there. This particular piece I have prepared here, it's going to be the stock for the floor pieces and the filler pieces that are going to go inside the frame. And actually this piece will be enough for making those pieces for all the frames from the front, so 1, 2 and 3. Now I'm gonna epoxy glue this together, then we're going to plane it down into certain thickness and then we're going to cut the parts with the CNC. One of the benefits making these videos is getting all kinds of support from different parties. You of course are the most important one, but right behind you comes the sponsored products I get. So far I have only one and it is a very important part of the project, and this is this epoxy. This is Green Turtle bio-based epoxy made by our Concept, smallest Spanish company. They generously offered me very reasonable price of their product to use in this project. And I really appreciate that. It has been working very well in these cold temperatures I had over the winter. By the way, you can probably notice that it is summer temperatures already. And I suggest you take a look at this product if you are doing something that needs epoxy. The most difficult part, of course, is to guess how much I would need for a certain job. And that's why in near future I'm probably gonna build an epoxy distribution machine that will do this measuring for me very quickly, and I can use smaller batches if needed. So if you're interested to see that, just hit a comment down below. Now this epoxy is very liquid and it's pretty warm, so I need to be quite fast with this. Although I am using a slow hardener, but still, keeping epoxy in this big cup is really not a good idea. The stock for the floor piece is coming nicely. It's already cured, but now the next job is to mill this pile of material into these slats. I have some leftover of these, but these last 7 frames are gonna be thicker. So these are 57 millimeters wide, and this stock is now 67 millimeters wide. So it is 10 millimeters wider, as you can maybe see. So I need to mill this pile of material into thin slats like these. They're gonna be planed from both surfaces, and the way I'm doing it is that now these all are planed. I'm gonna cut a slat from it with the bandsaw behind there. Then I'm gonna plane the remaining stock, and then I have 2 planed surfaces, and I can cut one more and all the way so that there is nothing left. And then I have a pile of slats that one side is planed and one side is rough, and then I'm gonna plane all them down with one go, and then I have a pile of slats that are planed from the both sides. This is kind of tedious work. You have maybe seen me doing this, and there's plenty of this to come still for the remaining 6 frames. This particular stock is just for 1 frame. So yeah, let's just put headphones on and start milling. And repeat. The frame stock is now done. It is all cut and planed. They are ready here, waiting for lamination. Before that, I need to do really 3 things with the CNC. First is cut these mold pieces from MDF board. This is an example piece. It's just a piece of MDF that is cut in the correct shape and has these alignment holes in here to connect in the holes on that table you can see behind me there. I cut those holes with the CNC last fall, and they are exactly 10 centimeters apart in a pattern. So I can place the frame exactly where I need to be on the table with these alignment holes. Then there is of course the shapes of the frames. This is example frame. I need to cut these plywood sheets on the top and to the bottom, and they really define the shape of the frame. And third, I need to cut those pieces out from the stock I glued up earlier in this video. It looks something like this. I need to cut shapes like this away from that stock. This is just a scrap piece. I have now already placed and attached this MDF piece on the CNC table. It's pretty good stuff because it is constantly thick. It is very easy to work with, and I got it for free from a local viewer. So thank you so much for you know who you are. Now let's just turn it on, and meanwhile it's cutting, I'm gonna clean up that table so that we can fit the frame on there eventually. The molds are now cut. I need 2 of them, so I did first batch and then the second batch, and now I have 2 of each of these mold pieces here. Next, I will put the plywood on the CNC. But before that, I will plane this down in the size. That's just because I don't have enough outlets for running this planer and the CNC and the vacuum at the same time. It's a little bit too hot for physical work. But just a beautiful day again. I won't complain. Now I got the plywood shapes cut, now I got the molds cut. One thing to go, and that's the floor piece and the fillers. And about that, I'm gonna do a slight change of plans, or more like a design improvement. And by that, I mean this particular spot here. You can probably see that the curve that comes here gets quite a bit tighter right in here on the bottom. And now I have done the floor piece so that it kind of follows the thickness of this frame, which is about 12 centimeters, and goes down right in here like so. But I can already now, with my experience, to see that this curve right in here is pretty tight, and there is really not reason to bend these slats over here. So I'm gonna do a change in the plans of this floor piece a little bit, so that I can come here and more straightforward down. Something like this. That makes the lamination just that more easy. False alarm. I didn't just remember that I have already done exactly what I meant. So you can probably see right here that the frame is getting narrow on the bottom here so that it's more straight to laminate against that floor piece here. Yeah, it's clear that I'm doing something very wrong. This is not normal. I went 5mm passes. If you have any suggestions why this happens, why it keeps happening with these deep grooves, just let me know. I'm kind of out of ideas. I have one more bit to go, but if that fails, it's not nice to spend 100 euros of bit like this and break it on the second job you're doing. This is my last bigger bit, and if this fails, the plans for this weekend are done. Now I'm just gonna go super slow and I don't know. This is annoying. Something happens and you don't know what it is, and you don't kind of figure out what's the problem. Really, really frustrating. That was a long evening. Now these pieces are cut successfully, eventually. I went half the speed, so it took more than 3 hours to cut this. And I was really careful. I took all the chips away from the groove. On the last one, I just tested a little bit how fast this blade can do, and there was no actually problems going with 2000 millimeters per minute. That is my basic setting. So yeah, I don't know. Probably I also ruined that blade when I took the last few rounds with the full speed. The chips are much better. Now all the pieces are cut for the next frames, and actually this particular piece has parts for 3 frames, so I don't need to cut these anymore in a few weeks. So we'll continue tomorrow by laminating that frame number 1. All right, everything is ready to laminate the first section of the frame 1. However, I'm not gonna do it right now because it is afternoon and it's 27 degrees Celsius here in the tent. That's way too warm for me to comfortable make a big lamination like this with epoxy. It's most probably gonna kick on me. So I'm gonna wait until this evening. But for you guys, this of course will continue in just a moment. And just like that, it is later in the evening. It's 10 o'clock. Temperature is around 12 degrees. It's really nice. Birds are singing outside. And yeah, now I'm just gonna mix some epoxy, laminate this pile. And by the way, this is actually pretty large pile just because this is frame number 1, of course, and the bow is tapering quite a lot. So that's why there is plenty of thickness with this one. But yeah. I'm just gonna put some time lapse on and gloves on and mix some epoxy now. All right, it is 1 o'clock at night. It's still 8 degrees Celsius. Not gonna need the box anymore. This is gonna cure by tomorrow and then we'll do the other half. Everything went quite well. It took more or less the 3 hours, which is pretty good, I think. I'm kind of getting professional with this, I think. It is a couple of days later. Unfortunately, I have had so much work to do these past few days that I haven't been able to come even visit. As you can see, the other side hasn't been done yet. And this video should have been published to my patrons yesterday. So I think I'm gonna wrap this video right here. The other side will be just exactly the same as this one, so you don't really miss anything. This looks very good, probably the best lamination so far. So, feel free to leave a comment, give me a like, remember to subscribe of course. Please share this content with your mates and we will see you in a few weeks. There's probably gonna be a delay at least for 1 week because next week it's a graduation weekend here in Finland and my son is graduating from high school. Woohoo! And we're going to have a party and we have to prepare that and all kind of stuff. But nevertheless, summer is here. It's really warm, it's really nice. Boats on the water, sails are on and yeah. Bye bye.